Dom here from Essential RC. Thanks for tuning in for another flight test. It's only quite recently I've really got into drones because I feel they've just got to the stage where I can start using them for videos, standalone videos, or incorporate them into my other videos because of the quality they now deliver. So this is the DJI Mini 3 Pro. Delivers 4K 30 frames a second video. And I'm going to be using it on my travels a lot, I think, because I do go on holiday now and again. But the 4K 30 frame second video is on a gimbal, stabilised gimbal, which you can actually control, tilt up and down and zoom in and out. Saves that to an SD card in the back for you to review later. The other fantastic thing about this particular drone is that it has collision avoidance. It has sensors on the front, the back, I think, and underneath, not on the sides. So if what I'm going to show today is flying and doing an inspection of the roof and the chimney on this particular house behind me, show how you can use that to really prevent anything going wrong. Now, the other thing I must mention is the law and the rules around flying drones. It's really important that you're familiar with that, particularly if you do want to fly in an inspect property or over people. There are a lot of rules and laws around this, and the easiest thing you can do if you're flying in the UK, I wouldn't know about where else in the world, but in the UK, then look up the drone code and it will detail everything you should be aware of. What you do need for a drone that is below 250 grams, which this is you need an operator ID. Quite simple to get. You just have to pay £10 to the CAA after putting in your personal details, and they send you that operator ID to put on the side of your drone. The other thing you might want to consider getting, but you don't have to have unless you fly a drone that's 250 grams or heavier, is a flyer ID. Now, a flyer ID, you have to get that, you have to take a 40-question test, which is really good because if you take that and you get all of them right, I got all of them right except 2 when I did it a couple of weeks ago, then that really teaches you a lot of, if not everything you need to know about flying a drone legally and responsibly in the UK. So even if you're flying something like this that's below 250 grams, you don't strictly need it. I would still advise doing it. It's really good to have that flyer ID. So the third thing that's very important, as well as the operator ID, flyer ID, is making sure you're flying in an area where you're allowed to. So in the UK, there are what we call flight restriction zones, FRZs. There are several maps available. There's DJI even do one showing where the active FRZs are. And if you want to or need to fly in an FRZ, you can possibly do that, but you need to, for my local area anyway, I'm just within an FRZ here, but you can put in a request to NATS to get authorization to do that. So I did that 3 days ago. You need to give them about 48 hours notice to respond to that. They will respond with a reference number. On the form I filled out, where I was going to fly exactly, when, what day, and what I would be flying, and my personal details. And they respond with a reference number, and they ask you on the day to call up ATC on the provided number, air traffic control, to say to ask final permission from ATC to be able to fly within the FRZ at the location and at the time with the drone you've specified in that request. So they granted that. I just phoned them a minute ago and they said yes, absolutely, and also phone us back when you're done. And so we're ready to go. So I'm just going to fly this, give some commentary while I'm showing you the onboard footage of this DJI Mini 3 Pro. Okay, so the drone is on my landing pad. Turn on my transmitter. That takes a little while to boot up. Now, the first time you get this, you need to activate it and register. it possibly upgrade the firmware and software on the controller as well. So well worth doing that at home first before you go out flying for the first time. All right, then turn on the drone. Okay, so we're all switched on. You can see on here it's giving me my height, my distance, my storage, what resolution I'm in, I'm in autofocus, my zoom level, number of satellites that I have for GPS, and my remaining flight time. I'm in normal mode and my takeoff is permitted. It's got the number of satellites it needs. So here we go. Up on the stick to take off. Now collision avoidance is enabled in cine and normal modes. Now I'm going to switch to cine mode, and what I'm going to do is inspect the chimney, because they're saying that during a storm, when it's particularly stormy weather, they are getting rainwater down the chimney to the kitchen below. So I want to see if I can spot why that is. So now I think it's interesting for you to show the information that's on here. Particularly with regard to the collision avoidance. So you can see it's giving me distances and warnings and audible alerts for when I am close to the building. So let's turn, get a good view on this face. Now let's just check I'm zoomed out all the way. That's zoom in, that's zoom out. And if I try and go further forwards, that's as close as it will let me get. But what I can do is use this to scan up and down with the tilt. So down and up. All looks good. So now let's get a bit of height. And turn around. And drop down the other side of the chimney. I think on top it looks okay. I can zoom in. Looks okay there, I'd say. And then drop down the other side. And let's zoom out again. Again, going as far forward as I can. That's as close as it's certainly going to let me go. Probably move back a little bit for a better picture. But if I zoom in, then I am seeing some holes in the pointing, the concrete pointing. So it's quite possible any rainwater is getting in there. scan up and down with the tilt. And there we go. Just to be clear, I'm keeping the drone in full line of sight the whole time. Job done, I think. Let's get higher. Get more clear view of the whole roof. Coming up on 200 feet. I'm allowed to fly to a maximum of 400 feet. Stated that on the form. And also legally, that's what I'm allowed to fly to. What a great view. $350 feet, that's great. And then let's have a look straight out. Across my hometown. Pretty nice clear day. All right, let's look straight down again. Okay, let's land. So there you go, that's the flight of the DJI Mini 3 Pro to do something actually interesting, but I'm going to enjoy using this on my travels to do aerial video of places that I visit, because that's really the power of this thing, but also showing how you can use that collision avoidance with those built-in sensors to capture some really close-up video using the tilt on the gimbal and the zoom as well. Super clear video. So if you've enjoyed our flight test, then please subscribe, click the bell icon for notifications. You might also want to give us a thumbs up, a like as well. That'd be really appreciated. But thanks for watching. See you next time.